Salam wa antum bi khair wa salama. So today, before we start with anything else, I'd like to introduce you to a brother who recently told us about how it so happened that he became a Muslim and he's standing before us today. Yes, here. Right. I can fit it if you like. Sure. As you like. It's up to you, whatever makes you feel.
Assalamu alaikum.
If you remove this mask at least for a moment so they see your face. Okay.
I'm as handsome as the Imam.
More.
So, my name is Jet. I'm a new Muslim. I got converted on the first day of Ramadan, April 2nd, 2022, without Dawa, without going to the mosque, and without any Muslim brother in front of me. And some of the Imam told me it was a miracle because they'd never heard someone who was converted without anyone in front of me, or without going to masjid, or without the Dawa. How did it happen? I'll go back to 2006 when I was in Kuwait for 2 years. I was working there and I was so active as a Pentecostal Christian, very active. And some of my Christian brothers told me that the Muslims believe that Jesus Christ is not God, he's a prophet. And I couldn't accept it because for us, for Christians like me, Jesus Christ is God. From 2006, let's go 15 years after, 2020 in Canada. I lost my job because of COVID and I stayed at home for 1 year and 8 months without a job, trying to find a job, but I couldn't find any job. I focused on the Bible, I focused on Jesus Christ. I didn't realize that Allah will be calling me in 2020 to 2022. When I was watching YouTube channel, I encountered so many videos about the refugees. And all those refugees in UK are Muslims. And I fell in love with them because they were so hungry, they didn't have any food, they didn't have any houses, they lived in the tents. So I fell in love with the Muslim brothers in UK. And I didn't realize that Allah is trying to paint me with this sceneries that I've seen on YouTube channel. So in 2020, I joined 2 churches in Canada for the first time. And I was happy in the beginning, but not until later. In 2020 also, I created a YouTube channel because I'm an English teacher for international students, so I created a YouTube channel for my English students international. And I was shocked that all the members of my Facebook, Messenger, and WhatsApp, 99.9% are Muslims. I even asked Jesus why I have so many Muslim friends just because of my YouTube. Let's go back to 2021. My question in 2006, if Jesus Christ is God or prophet, came back in 2021. Every single month, every single day, in my head and in my heart, I was asking Jesus, are you God or prophet? It never stopped for 2021. And I was so disappointed I couldn't find any job. And I said to my Christian friend, I want to leave Canada. I want to go to a desert. I just want to talk to God. I'm so confused if Jesus Christ is really God or prophet. I didn't realize that Allah is creating this confusion for me to be able to know if Jesus Christ is God or prophet. December 2021, I found a job, one of the biggest companies in Canada. It's a bank. I was happy in December. 2022, I was happy in January. 2022, February, I was still happy. It's okay. So, very much. So that was February, I was happy. Not until March. I didn't realize that Allah has waited for me for 16 years to see the truth. I was in front of my computer, still confused if God is a prophet or a God, if Jesus is a prophet or a God. And I was craving for a Quran that night of March 9. I wanted to know if Jesus or Isa in your Quran, who is he and who is Mary. So I went to Facebook Marketplace. I was searching for a Quran and I found a free Quran, and it was from Saad from Mississauga. He's a Pakistani brother. So I said, Saad, can I have your Quran? It's a beautiful, clear Quran, so shiny, I want to have it. So we met on March 14, and this is where the miracle happened. I met Saad in Kipling. He gave me the Quran, and I had so many questions about the religion of Muslims. But there's one question that he did not answer to me. I said, Jesus Christ died here. 570 years later, Prophet Muhammad was born. And when he was 40 years after, Gabriel spoke to Prophet Muhammad and they changed Jesus Christ from God to prophet. How did it happen? I want to talk to an imam. I want somebody to explain to me why the Muslims changed Jesus Christ from our God to prophet. Sa'ad did not answer my question. He said, read the Quran. So I went home, March 14, and this is where Allah was waiting for me. I was reading the Quran. I was reading about Isa. And one of my students, my English students from Bangladesh, which I have never seen, but he's not my best friend, sent me a YouTube link. He said, Chet, click and watch this. I clicked. Dr. Zakir Naik. So I watched him in the beginning, but I knew he will never convince me. Because I'm the type of guy that if you sell to me something, you have to strive hard to sell it because I'm really hard to convince. 5 Muslim brothers asked me to be converted. I said no. Very night, March 14, Allah was watching me looking at Zakir in the middle of the video. He was verbalizing every single verses that I know from the Bible, which I memorized. And he was telling me the truth about the verses. I was teary-eyed because I said, I didn't know this. That was Zakir Naik. On the right side of the video, there's another video of a scholar, Ahmed Didat. I clicked Ahmed Didat. My goodness, when I watched him, he verbalized every single verses in the Bible. I was crying like a river in my room. I fell in love with Allah that night. I fell in love with Islam that night. Every single night from March 14th up to March 31st, I was watching Ahmed Didat, and I'm sure Allah was trying to tell me, sit down, relax, watch Ahmed Didat, and cry. I was just crying, and I realized to myself, I was so blind for so many years that I didn't realize there's only one God, which is Allah. And I embraced Islam from that every night. Remember, 99.9% of my friends were Muslim. I texted all of them that Islam is so beautiful, I didn't realize. And I didn't realize that it's so beautiful to be a Muslim. But then they told me, do you want to be a convert? No. My head wants me to become a convert, but my heart doesn't like to be, because my mom is a religious leader. I am also a religious leader. So I said to my Muslim brothers and sisters, if Allah called me to become a Muslim, it will happen. On the 31st of March, I said to Allah, for the first time, Allah, guide me, Allah, guide me. I decided to do the fasting. So I asked my friend, because I'm working also as a certified volunteer for Canadian Red Cross. One of them is a Muslim. I told him to send me the calendar of the Ramadan. They sent me the calendar, and the Ramadan started on April 2nd. I fasted on April 2nd, no food, no drink. In the afternoon, I fell asleep. When I woke up, one of my students and best friend, Waqas from Pakistan, called me on the phone. He said, Chef, are you fasting? Yes, I am. Are you hungry? I said, no, I'm okay. And do you accept now that Allah is your only God? Yeah, I do. I realize that there's only one God, and it's Allah. And do you realize that Prophet Muhammad is a messenger of God? I said, yes, I do. And I also realized that Jesus Christ is also a messenger of God. And then he said, let's have a shahada. And I thought, what shahada? Is it a pizza? No, shahada, just follow me. I followed him, and he said, congratulations, you are now a Muslim. And from that time on, I felt so good. I felt the power of Allah every single night. I fell in love with Allah. I fell in love with the Muslim belief and the traditions. I couldn't contain, my heart is so small to contain the love and peace and joy and power of Allah. And from the day I asked Allah, bring me to the first masjid. I've never been to any masjid around the world. And he brought me to Medina Masjid. And from there, I met a brother, Yasir, from Saudi Arabia. He brought me to Salah Hadith Masjid. And then this is my third masjid. And then he brought me to the TIC Masjid. And Allah took me in a journey where I can feel the brotherhood and the love of Allah through your brotherhood. The next challenge, how about my family? My mom is a religious leader, but again, Allah knows my heart. I said, I will ask Allah, please make it easy for my mom. I didn't tell my brother about it. They know I'm fasting, but they didn't know why. On Monday last week, my mom called me, and I said to my mom, Mom, I want to tell you something. I go to the mosque every single day, from afternoon up to dawn. I'm in Salahadin, praying from Maghrib to Fajr every single day. And I pray for our family, I pray for my brothers and sisters. Their brotherhood is amazing. I love the way they pray. When they put their head on the ground, I get goosebumps. I feel the power and humbleness of the people, of the brothers and the sisters for God. I didn't tell Allah. And she was just quiet. And she said, did you know that our neighbor is also a Muslim? So she didn't say anything to me. Thursday, she called again. I was doing my iftar at home. I didn't go to any masjid. And she asked me, what are you doing? I said, I'm eating. I didn't eat for 14 hours. And then she said, oh, you're fasting. And then my cousin said to my mom, why is he fasting? And my mom said from her mouth, last Thursday, he is now a Muslim. I felt so good that my mom mentioned that I am a Muslim. If I felt the power of Allah and the love of Allah every single day, I think all of us or all of you should feel the power and love of Allah because you have been with Him since birth. I am a religious leader. I know the Bible every single page, but He took me in without me saying no. I couldn't imagine how powerful Allah is, that I am now with you. And with the blessing of Imam Shabir, I'm telling this message to you not because I'm bragging about myself. I'm telling this story to you because this is my way of humbleness for Allah. This is His story, not mine. So in the name of Allah, the most powerful, the most beneficent, the most merciful God, I bless all of you.
Takbir. Takbir.
Thank you, Brother Jack. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this way. That leads into what we need to do next. You know, brothers and sisters in Islam, this center was set up not to